have picked up a new hobby, a new craft, a new creative release, and that is sewing. I have wanted to learn how to sew for a while now, probably for the last couple of years, because I am pretty good with mending things with just a needle and thread. I picked that up from over the years from my mom and from my time working at Build-A-Bear, but I knew nothing about like actually putting together a garment and using a sewing machine. However, I am very lucky and privileged to have a wonderful teacher living under the same roof as me, aka my mom. My mom has been sewing for a very long time. She learned when she was younger from both her mom and from school, and it just never, I was never that interested in it. In high school, my sister learned because she took home ec, and my mom taught her some things as well. And I felt a little left out, okay? I just love creating things. I love painting. I love making things, solving things, doing so many things. And especially when I want to get off of my phone, the two things I reach for is either a book or some sort of crafty thing. And so it only made sense that sewing would be my next step. So I wanted to share with you guys the pieces that I have made as a beginner sewer, although very much with the help of my mom. I'm very lucky in the sense that I can have a lot of one-on-one lessons and a lot of help with these pieces really any time of the day. Also, we already had a sewing machine, so I did not have to factor in that cost at all. As well as talk about why I think sewing and other hobbies and crafts and artistic releases and creativity are just so important, especially now. I feel like the biggest push for me in wanting to learn how to sew recently, after pushing it off for so long, is really just wanting to fight overconsumption and this instant gratification of a society that we live in, where you can order anything, buy anything, and it could be at your door in just a few hours or in 1 to 2 day shipping. And everything is just so quick. We don't think about how things are made and what goes into it. And it feels like things, you can buy it so quickly, so you could just throw it away so quickly, which is most definitely not the case. And it's just, I don't want to participate in fast fashion anymore. And so learning to sew is not the only thing you can do. Obviously, thrifting exists, but I feel like whenever I thrift, I kind of go down the overconsumption rabbit hole, I guess, where I'm just buying, buying, buying versus sewing. While I did pick up a handful of fabrics without any plans in mind when Joann Fabrics was closing, RIP girl, it's still like just so special spending the time making things, knowing everything that goes into the process, and knowing how long it takes. While I have been learning to sew, I've also been reading a lot of books on the history of textiles and fashion and fast fashion, and I'm going to put on the screen a couple of books that I totally recommend you should check out, that I have either read through my library or done an audiobook for, that I feel like just very much encapsulates how I feel about sewing. And I also just love history. I love it. And also sewing is like, it's a form of rebellion, learning how to make your own clothes, because you're learning these skills and you're making things, and you're not participating in fast fashion or all of these other cycles, and you get to create your own pieces, pick out your own fabric and patterns, and it's just endless possibilities, whether it's the first item you're making or the 100th item you're making. You made it and it's special, and that just makes it so much more meaningful. And I feel like the pieces that I have made, I wear a lot more than any other piece of my wardrobe, because I know the time and love and care that went into them. And I feel like I reach for sewing as a way to kind of process my thoughts and figure out what's going on and take control of my emotions before I take action when I am consuming news and media about the state of the world, the state of the country, my home state, Texas. I feel like it's a great way for me to feel like I'm doing something while still processing my emotions and taking time to be with myself. And there are literally so many hobbies out there that I feel like encapsulate this, that literally anyone can pick up. I know I've been mentioning a lot of things like sewing and crafts and painting and crochet and knitting, and very much in that space, but there's still so many other outlets like, I don't know, animation, coding. Now I'm just naming technology things. There are just so many things out there that I feel like everyone should find a couple of ways to just get creative in whatever space feels right for them. And for me, it's been sewing. So that has been a little bit of a tangent, but now I will be getting into the clothes that I made so far as a beginner. I just felt like all of those things were very important to talk about and address. I guess I'm going to start off with all of the hair pieces I've made. Something that I've been loving doing with my scrap fabric from my projects is making hair pieces like headbands, or I've got a bunch of hair scarves that are completely uneven, but it's a very quick practice for me to practice. It's very uneven hems. I don't do anything crazy on these, but for me to practice stitching straight, and just when I want a project I can get done in an hour, I can work on a couple of hair pieces and then I can match with the outfits I've made. I think it's so fun. I love a little matchy matchy vibe. And I also love making these pieces for my friends. I've gifted so many headbands and hair scarves to my friends because I can't stop sewing these. It's just so much fun, and I feel like it's a great way to use scrap fabric and extra fabric. The first item that I made with the help of my mom are these shorts. I am in love with this cherry fabric. I think it is so cute. I fell in love with it the second that we walked into Joann Fabrics. And this was, I think, before we knew it was closing. So I had a lot of visits not too long after this purchase. But these are just a simple pair of lounge shorts with an elastic waistband. And so I learned a lot of things with the sewing machine, making these. It also, most importantly, does have pockets. I mean, come on. What's better than this? And the pockets are huge. And so this was a great first project beginner. Like I said, my mom has helped me with these a lot. And the first 4 items I had a lot of help with, and then I kind of got the swing of things for some others. But these are so much fun. I wear them all the time. They are so comfy. And the pattern that I used is New Look in 6737, which has a couple of other pieces in it, but so far I have only made the shorts in here. And there are so many great beginner lounge shorts out there. So I'm obviously still a beginner, maybe starting to get into intermediate, maybe more like advanced beginner is maybe where I'd place myself now. But if you are wanting to start your sewing journey, I highly recommend starting with lounge shorts. This is what my mom recommended we start with, and it was a breeze once I got the hang of it. The second item that we made is this tie front peplum top. I'm sure you have seen a lot of tops like this. I know I have, specifically like on Instagram or TikTok, like people wearing them, and I have been obsessed since I first saw the style. But the back of my brain, I was like, I can make that. I could totally make that. And I did. So I got this pattern off of Etsy. The shop name is slipping my mind right now, but I'll put it on the screen as well as link the pattern in the bio below, the caption below, whatever that space is called. So it was so fun making a matching set. I wear these pieces together all the time. I think the cherry fabric is just so fun, and the tie front details, I love this blouse so much. And I feel like a reason that I've really loved sewing is I do not own a lot of, like more put together tops. I own a lot of like plain tank tops and t-shirts, so I don't have a lot of blouses or like more timeless tops. So sewing has made me get a little more of a collection of those, which has been great because I wear this literally all the time. And this was my first time, and still my only time at the current moment, working with bias tape. So that was another fun. Oh, and gathering. I learned gathering on this one too. So we're just collecting so many skills. This tank top is my Roman Empire. If you want to know why it's my Roman Empire, that would be because I have made this pattern 4 times. 4 times. My mom told me, like, once you find a pattern you love, you're just gonna keep making it. That's what she did in high school with a pair of lounge shorts. And I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. So this pattern is actually from 1989. It is a vintage pattern. This is my girl right here. This is Easy McGall's 4272, and it is copyright 1989. So my mom and aunt were putting my grandma's house up for sale, and this was when I was beginning to learn how to sew, and my mom had remembered that there are so many patterns at the house, so she picks them up for me. And I have quite a few, but some of them it's going to be a little bit more of a process to work with because I've got to size them up. But this tank top right here, I love her. And I hate to use the kind of timeless phrase because I feel like that's so like old money and I don't really like that. But knowing that this pattern is from 1989 and I am wearing it now and making things with it now in 2025, I'm like, yeah, no, I get it. I'm obsessed with this tank top. I have had to retire this pattern. After the fourth one, I was like, I think I got to put it on the back burner for a while and work on some other projects, but she's my girl. And what I love about this tank top is I got to work with interfacing for the first time and kind of got my um, finger on that pulse and figure out how to do that. And the buttonholes in the back. I would say at the beginning, buttonholes and me were like this. And now, I don't know, every time I do buttonholes on the machine, I feel like it's just sick of me always doing this. So, I've kind of had to stop with the buttonholes for a while. I feel like I always say that like, oh, sewing is so peaceful. It's a great way for me to relax and like sit with my emotions and feelings and thoughts and whatever. But then like the sewing machine will start to eat my fabric and I'm like freaking out and crashing out. So, you know, gotta find the balance. But I just love how this fits and it's so simple, but it's not just like a regular t-shirt that I throw on all the time. It's got a little something to it still. So far I have only worked with cotton fabric. That's just been the easiest for me to work with and what Joann Fabrics had the most of. Okay, I was taking over the quilting fabric. I was like, you guys are getting this for quilting, I'm getting it for clothes. So one day I will expand my fabric contents, but these are all 100% cotton. Tank top number 2 and the first item I made completely by myself, or at least clothing item, the hair scarves and everything I always do by myself. I am so proud of this little tank top. It's another one that I wear a lot. I had picked up this lemon fabric when I was picking up the gingham fabric and a couple other things, and I did not have any plans for it. But I was like, it's gorgeous. I want it. I need it. And then I made this little tank top with it. And this one is a little different because it has the swoop back and the pattern called for just one button. However, the placement of it just did not work out for me. So I have these two gorgeous flower buttons on it that I think are just perfect. And I just love this tank top so much. I'm going to stop saying that because obviously I love it. I've made 4 of them. Tank top number 3 is the same exact pattern as the blue gingham one with the 3 buttons in the back and the straight back, I guess. This one was a little difficult because the fabric, it's sparkly. I had a vision. This is how a lot of these work. I have a vision and then I make it happen, even if it takes a couple of years. My family and I are going to Epic Universe later this year, and I'm so excited. And I'm loving seeing everything from Celestial Park. And so I was like, I want to make something with gorgeous fabric that matches the vibe. And I found this sparkly fabric and was like, yeah, you're coming home with me. But it is thicker and it doesn't feel super smooth on your fingers when you're working with it for a while because of the glitter. So I did have a slight crash out with this, but then my mom came in and fixed it. I just didn't snip the inside of the armholes, but she fixed it. Thanks, Mom. But I love the glitter on this. I'm so excited to wear it in Epic, and I just love it when ideas in my mind work out. We've made it to the final tank top with this pattern. This is the same as the gingham and celestial tank top I've made. I just use 4 buttons in the back because these buttons are a little smaller, and it was a pack of 4. I didn't want to leave one just hanging out as a straggler, so I just use all 4 of them. And this has been a vision in my mind for a very long time because I had a dress that I wore when I was 3 years old all the time that had Belle, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty on the front of it. And I have scoured the internet for years trying to look for a t-shirt or sweatshirt or something similar that was still like embroidery, and just could not find it. And then I was like, wait, what if I like sew something? And so I have this pink swirl fabric. It's not floral like the dress because Joann Fabrics was closing. I had to work with what I got. And then I found these patches on eBay that were just too perfect that I ironed on and then sewed on just for a little extra strength, I guess. And it's so cute. I actually have a trip to Disney coming up that I am super excited to wear it on, especially because this fabric's nice and lightweight, so I hopefully won't be sweating too much. And I really wanted to make it a matching set to kind of emulate the dress from when I was little, so I just made these lounge shorts with the same exact pattern as the cherry shorts. This was my first time doing shorts all by myself, and it was a little bit of a learning curve. I feel like just getting used to reading patterns has been the hardest part for me. I feel like just because so many patterns are different depending on even like the brand, the decade, it's all over the place. But I had a great time making these, and these do have pockets. So I'm super excited about this. And really my only issue with these was I made the front, the back, and the back of the front, but I fixed it. It's all good now. We have broken free of the repeating patterns for now. I have two other complete pieces that I wanted to share with you guys. I actually wore this skirt. I've worn the skirt a lot more than I thought I would originally. I feel like that's what happens when I make an item. I try it on and I'm like, oh, that's cute, but I don't know. And then suddenly I wear it like literally every week, if not more. This floral skirt was made with another vintage pattern from my grandma's house, and actually this was not the original pattern I was hoping to do. This is the Easy McCall's 3074, and this one is copyright 1987. I had originally wanted to do the B skirt where it had just a little more spin, a little more volume, but we did have to size up the skirt more than we thought because the pattern, they're all in different size groups or even just individual sizes. So we had to size it up quite a bit, and then we did not have enough fabric for B unless it would be at a really awkward length. So we did C, which still, it's a little bit more of a straight fit, but it's still a lot of fun. And this was my first work with a zipper. So my mom did help me with a lot of this one and a hook and eye, but that's easy enough because you just hand sew that. But I love this skirt a lot. I love the fabric that I picked out. I feel like it's so colorful and it goes with a lot. I style this skirt a lot with like a baby tee and my denim vest. That's like my go-to outfit. And it's just so much fun and I really love it. Like I said, I did not think I would wear it as much as I do now. But I wear it at least once a week, if not more. And that just goes to appreciating the clothes that you make. And now we have my final complete item, which my mom and I actually finished last weekend. I had started it, did not understand the pattern. My mom helped me, and she also did not completely understand the pattern. So I felt a little bit better about myself working on this. But it is this cute little peplum tank top with buttonholes on the front. I have not buttoned it completely, but I love this fabric. I think it's so fun and lightweight. I did not buy this fabric with this pattern in mind, but my very last trip to Joann Fabrics, my mom and I bought a bunch of different fabrics and a bunch of different patterns for me to work on. And so really the hardest part about this tank top was figuring out the interfacing where the buttonholes are, and then this is completely lined on the inside, which was another learning curve for me, but it ended up so cute, and I've not worn this yet. I think I've put it on once to try it on and see how it looks, but I haven't styled it yet. But I think this will be really good with just some jeans or denim shorts or something, maybe even my white skirt. But I do really love this, and I can't wait to see how I style it later. And that pattern is the New Look in 6719. And that one has two tops in it, and I don't know if I have plans to make top A, but I have the option right here. So those are all of the items that I made so far as a beginner sewer. I feel like all of these are in the beginner realm. Some of these are definitely some more learning curves in which I am very lucky to have my mom's help on my side. And just anytime I have a question, I can just be like, hey girl, and she's like, okay, let me look at it, let me read it, and then she explains it to me or shows me how to do something. And it's just been a really good time spending time with my mom and sewing. We are just chatting it up, talking about random things. As for my current work in progress, I have one of those, and that is this McCall's dress. This is M8321, and I am making the B dress right here that has, let's see if we can get a good close up on this. It is the tie back, and I think that it is absolutely gorgeous. I'm doing it out of order. The great part about having my mom help me with these things is she shows me some little shortcuts or hacks or just doing things a little out of order. For example, I hate doing the hem very last. I feel like sometimes the hem can just take so long and you're like, it's pretty much done. I just need the hem. I just want to be done. So I've actually already sewed together the bottom of this dress and done the hem as well as some other pieces here and there. So the goal is for me to finish this by the end of July so that I could start August with new projects, in which I have no clue what that'll be, to be completely honest. But I'm having a lot of fun with this dress. And the fabric that I'm using is this kind of blue, light turquoise, maybe even mint. It's giving me like cool mint. It's this beautiful floral fabric. I already made a headband, as you can see. And it's very Kit Kittredge birthday dress, but this is not a chicken feed sack. This is fabric from Joann's. I didn't even realize that when I was picking out this fabric and this pattern, but my mom was like, this kind of reminds me of that Kit dress, because I have Kit Kittredge. That was my favorite doll growing up. And I was like, oh my god, her birthday dress. So we're gonna be twins on my birthday. That's why I want to finish this dress by the end of July. But I'm having a great time. Truly, there's nothing more fun than picking up a new hobby or a new task. And sometimes, a lot of times, it's daunting or you find out that it's not for you. For example, I started crochet earlier this year and I don't think it's for me, or at least I prefer smaller projects. Anything too big and I just get frustrated. So that's been going on, but sewing definitely has been great. It's been a lot of fun. I feel like it's so important to just pick up hobbies and do things with your hands and do crafts, that not that many people do anymore because it's so readily accessible in the stores and online. I feel like taking the time to truly appreciate things and make things yourself just makes it that much more special, whether you're making it for yourself or for a gift for someone else, whatever. I feel like there's just that extra layer of love in it. And yeah, these things can be a form of rebellion. I'm making my own clothes instead of buying fast fashion, which is great. And I'm appreciating my clothes a lot more, which is a lot of fun. I keep looking at the floor because I just kept throwing all my clothes on the floor. Anywho, I just really wanted to talk about sewing and how much fun I've been having and what I have made so far. It's been a lot of fun. So if you have any current hobbies or crafts, well, crafts are hobbies. I don't know why I keep trying to differentiate them. But if you have anything that you love to do to either get off your phone or just to find your creativity, please share. I would love to hear. And I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day.